Hi everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to set up an n8n server on Ubuntu or Debian using Docker. With just a few simple steps, you'll be able to build a powerful and scalable automation system. First, make sure Docker is already installed on your system. If not, check out the installation video linked in the description below. Great! Docker is now ready on our server. Next, you should also install Portainer to easily manage your Docker containers through a user-friendly web interface. This makes it simple to monitor, start, or stop containers without relying heavily on the command line. Additionally, you'll need an email address for registration. You can use Gmail, Outlook, or any other email service you have. All set. Now we'll move on to preparing the environment to install n8n on our server. First, we'll create a folder to store all configurations and data for n8n. In this guide, I'll name it n8n, but you can choose any name you like. Next, we'll create a folder named n8n-data to store n8n's persistent data. This ensures your data is retained even if the container is removed or restarted. Once created, we'll set permissions on the folders and files to ensure n8n can access and run smoothly. Here, we'll assign them to the 1000 user and set basic read, write, and execute permissions for a secure and stable setup. Next, we'll create two empty files, one for declaring environment variables and another for detailed n8n configuration. This makes managing the setup easier and more flexible. The env file will hold sensitive n8n information such as IP address, port, and other important environment variables. The Docker Compose YML file, on the other hand, stores the entire container configuration, including the image, volumes, network, and all necessary settings for n8n to run properly. Now, open the env file, and we'll declare the necessary environment variables for n8n. In this file, we'll temporarily declare the main parameters. Host allows n8n to be accessed from any IP address. Port, we'll use port 5678 to access n8n protocol, temporarily set to HTTP. env, set to production so the system runs in production mode. Time zone, replace this with your time zone to ensure n8n shows the correct time. Once you've declared all the parameters, save and exit the file. Next, open the Docker Compose YML file so we can start declaring the necessary configuration for the n8n container. Similar to the .env file, in Docker Compose.yml, we declare the main configuration for the n8n container. Image, use the latest n8n image. Container name, name the container, n8n server. Restart, always restart the container in case of any issues. Ports, map port 5678 from the host to the container for accessing n8n. env file, link the .env file we created so the container can use environment variables. Volumes, map the n8n data folder on the host to n8n's data directory inside the container for persistent storage. User, set the user to 1000 to avoid permission issues when running as a regular user. Once all the configurations are set in file, save and exit the file. Alright, everything is ready. Now, we'll proceed to install the n8n server and get ready to start automating your workflows. On the first run, n8n will automatically download the necessary files and perform initial setup for the container. This only happens once, so just wait a few seconds for the system to be ready. Once the installation is complete, you can check the container status with the docker ps-a command to make sure n8n is running. However, using the command line interface makes managing containers quite challenging, especially when you want to monitor, start, or stop multiple containers at the same time. To solve this, we can use Portainer, a web-based Docker management tool. With Portainer, you can easily monitor, start, stop, or configure containers without relying heavily on the command line. Next, we need to check the firewall on the server. If the firewall status is inactive, you can skip this step. But if it's active, you need to allow port 5678 so n8n can be accessed from your browser without connection issues. Alright, that's it. Next, we'll access n8n from a browser using the server's IP address or domain name, along with the port we configured earlier. On your first access, you'll see a prompt to enter the email address we prepared earlier. Enter this email, first name, last name to register and verify your account. Next, answer these questions according to your preferences to ensure the system works optimally. Next, you should register a free license key to unlock advanced features such as workflow history, advanced debugging, execution search, and folders. This allows you to manage and monitor your workflows more effectively. Then, open your email to retrieve the license key sent by n8n. Next, return to the n8n interface and enter the license key you just received from your email. Once entered, the advanced features will be activated, allowing you to use workflows fully and more efficiently. And that's it! We've completed the installation and setup of the n8n server using Docker on Ubuntu or Debian based. Now you can access it, create workflows, and take full advantage of the advanced features to automate your tasks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more useful guides.